Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Antiheroes Anonymous, or welcome for the first time if it's your first time joining us. I'm Ethan, and I'm the Dungeon Master for this 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons show. And going around the table, we have 4 lovely players, one of whom is a robot today. Yeah. So we'll start with Nick.
That's me.
Hi, I'm Nick. I play Thaddeus, the human paladin of Asanahan.
Hi, I'm Kay. I play Harmony, who is a tiefling wild magic sorcerer.
Hi, I'm Melissa, and I play Mara, who is a human pirate.
Hi, I'm Zach. I play the robot, whose name is Hunter, and he's a Warforged fighter ranger.
Pirate. He's a pirate.
Let's see. So we stream on Twitch every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, and then post those episodes to YouTube the following Wednesday. In our show, we use a variety of custom items and a custom wild magic table as well. Our music comes from BattleBards, TabletopAudio, and Incompetech. So if you're watching us on Twitch, you can check the channel page for links and info about everything I just mentioned and more. There's even a convenient little history section that will walk you through what's been going on in the campaign, in case you're joining. Let's see, if you're watching us on YouTube, however, you can check the video description for similar information, minus the history and such. Let's see. Then if you still want more information about when we're going live, what happened in the episodes and things like that, you can follow us on Twitter at AntiheroesAnon, and that information is both on the Twitch and YouTube pages. Other than that, enjoy the show, share with your friends, and always come back for more if you did enjoy. So a little bit of recap, and we'll get right back into the game. So the party went to a city called Marblecleft Landing to find a ship to an island called Kame-Kame Island, where they hope to find a compass that will supposedly guide them to their ultimate goal of the Elderhaven Reaches. Mara and Thaddeus hired Constance Holt, who is the captain of the Drowning Kiss, a sailing ship in the harbor.
Who's thirsty for mermaids.
Yep, she's very thirsty for mermaids.
Info that we learned about her.
And they hired her because she had known Mara's mother. And actually, it turned out that Mara's father helped build her ship. Harmony and Hunter, meanwhile, found that the Nightclaws, who were sort of like the CEOs of a company called the East Freydin Mercantile Corporation, they found that these two individuals had ties to the Eyes of the World, who are the group's main antagonists. An accidentally summoned imp through wild magic revealed that these two Nightclaws were actually Rakshasas in disguise, fiends from the 9 hells. So the next morning, when the group decided to leave to avoid fighting these fiends, the Nightclaws attempted to stop them, but the party managed to make a quick escape and avoid trouble. During the voyage over the sea towards the island, Harmony and Thaddeus had a little bit of a falling out over the imp that Harmony had summoned, while meanwhile Hunter was trying to mediate in between. At the same time, Mara was learning from Captain Holt about the mysterious coin that was left to her by her mother, this gold coin which is covered in barnacles. And then there was a silly encounter with a waterspout that flung jellyfish onto the ship. They met some friendly merfolk who traded with them. And then just before Kame-Kame Island was sighted, they found a message in the bottle from Gloriana Hartwood, who is a favorite author of Thaddeus's, which solidified in Thaddeus's mind, I believe, that that was the direction we should go. So that's where we're picking up. The crew member up in the crow's nest had just shouted, "Land ho! We see Kame-Kame Island!" And looking out over the water, still several miles off, you can see this rocky cliffside beginning to rise off of the horizon. And it's maybe still a few hours out, but you're getting very, very close at this point. So I will start up some music.
Hunter, what are we going to do about Mangus?
Well, I mean, we're going to deepen this right now.
I know, we're already here.
Weren't we going to send the imp?
Yeah.
That's right. I mean, that was an idea.
Well,
That would be, well, that'd be the most we can do right now if we wanted to do that. Take that option.
I can't remember. Did you
Did
have
you
Moloch
share
summoned
that?
at the moment?
No.
No, we've just been
Did you
talking
share
about
the letter you found with us? I don't remember.
Actually, I think somebody else already read it.
You picked it up
I
with
thought you
Mage
picked
Hand,
it
right?
up.
I picked it up.
I picked it up with Mage Hand,
But
didn't
then,
I? But I
then
think,
he opened it.
or maybe did I open
I
it
think you opened it. I'm
with
pretty sure.
with my dagger? Yeah, so I
Oh
had
yeah,
it.
you did.
But I recognized the GH. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
you were like, "Who's GH?" And I was like, "Let me see that." I was like, "Oh, I know who this is."
Did you tell
Thaddeus
us
had
what it
seen
is?
the signature previously when he saw a signed copy of Gloriana Heartwood book
Yeah.
back
Right.
in Marble Cleft.
Marblecraft.
Random.
I thought you weren't on
Lara
Cold
Croft
Lake
Island.
anymore.
Yep.
Lara Croft Island. Did you tell us who it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You really want to save this person, don't you?
It's very important.
Then we'll save her. But you have to let me send the imp to check on Mendes.
I'll do whatever you want.
I'm gonna hand you the letter.
You
Keep it
now
as a
have her
souvenir.
signature.
Yeah, that's true.
You're like,
I'm gonna
It's
keep
like-
the bottle
Like
it came in.
gingerly folds it up and puts it away in his stuff.
yeah,
Yep.
like put it right here next to your hard drive.
I'm gonna keep the bottle it came in.
I'll keep
Okay.
it warm.
And then you just go out of Thaddeus' sight to summon Moloch.
Yeah, you better.
Okay.
Get
Yeah,
2 turns
I'll-
away from him.
I'll go
Distance.
below deck.
All right. When you summon him, you feel that weight alight on your horn, and he says, "What's up, boss?"
So, I have a job for you.
And he becomes visible and hops down in front of you and starts rubbing his little impy hands and says, "All right, what you got for me? Hit me with it."
Do you know of a silver dragon named Mandus?
And he shrugs. Nah.
Okay.
Let me just get this right out of the gate right now. If you want me to fight a dragon,
No.
Okay.
No. The dragon is our friend. the dragon is our friend.
right? Okay, you said silver, and I'm just thinking, silver are the ones that usually want to fight us. But okay,
Right. It's
understood.
yeah. Okay. Well. Anyway, there's a silver dragon disguised as a man named Mandus,
Okay.
and he's our friend, and he's been our helper and our mentor, and he saved my life. And I think he's in trouble, and I want you to see if you can find him.
Do you have any kind of a lead, a direction?
He's in Ravenmoor.
Ravenmoor. Okay, I can work with that. I don't know where it is, but if you've got any kind of a map, or I can just figure this out, you can leave it to me. I'm on it, boss.
We have a map.
We
Well,
have,
at
yeah,
least
I think
you
don't we
gave the
have,
players
like
a map. Did you give
I
us?
think you guys would have a world
Okay.
map. It might not have all the locations filled in, but
Well,
you'd have a
yeah,
rough world
but
map.
would I know
I
like
still have.
where,
Especially
like
since we're on a ship.
directionally?
Then
Yeah.
it maps.
I'll be like, it's in that direction.
Okay, he sort of holds the map, which is like way too big for him, and he
Yeah.
looks at it and he's like,
It's really, really far. There's a big forest next to it.
all right, good
I
enough.
think that it might be in the control of a vampire, so be very
And
careful.
he raises his little. It's not like he doesn't have hair for eyebrows. It's just like a ridge.
ridge.
Yeah.
Scaly ridge. He raises that and
So
is like,
stay out of sight. Don't let anyone see you.
good
but-
thing staying out of sight is what imps do best.
Yeah, just see what you can see, and report back to me,
Hmm.
please.
I'm on it, boss.
Thank you.
And then with
And I'm
that,
gonna
he.
reach into my bag,
Oh, okay.
and I'm gonna give him my shiny button,
Oh,
and I'm gonna say it's a good luck charm.
he sort of looks at
It
it,
should keep you safe.
gnaws on it a little bit, and he like looks. He doesn't have any pockets or anything like that, so he just kind of like swallows it.
Okay.
Thanks, boss. You probably won't be getting that back. Just so you know.
That's fine. It's yours. It's my gift to you.
And then with that, he disappears in a puff of smoke.
I have a question. When Harmony was doing that, does she use Mage Hand as like a baton or like people like giving presentations?
Like a
Oh,
laser
on the
pointer.
map?
On a
Yeah.
map. Here and here.
It's like an extension of your hand at that point. I think we kind of like a sticky whipper at this point.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so by the time this has gone down, the boat is approaching within visual distance of the island. And you're coming at the island from the west side, and what you're seeing is basically a wall of cliffs. And looking at your map, which I will put up on the camera so that the viewers can see. Looking at the map, you can see that the entire island, from west to north to east, is pretty much ringed with mountainous cliffs. And there's a long beach along the entire south end of the island.
That's not it. That is probably in the book.
It's with the cable.
It's with the cable.
And so Thaddeus and Hunter and Mara, you're up on the top deck, and you can hear Captain Constance Holt shouts down to you. Did you want to get a look at the whole island, or should we just go for the beachy area?
Let's make landfall.
All right. I don't know if I can get the ship right up close. It looks like we've got some reefs. But I think if I anchor a few hundred feet away, you should be able to take a rowboat across. Sound good?
That'd be fine.
Sure.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Whatever.
Okay. So she brings the boat around to sort of like the southeastern side of the island. You can see there's a little bit of a cove in between what would be the turtle's tail and its leg. Yeah. And so she anchors the boat sort of like just outside of that cove, and then the crew begins to lower down rowboats. And within maybe an hour or so, you find yourself ashore this jungle island. And as you get a look of it now, you can see that it is just, aside from the beach and the like mountainous cliff areas, it just seems to be entirely covered in jungle trees. And even from here, you can hear the sounds of the jungle, just various birds and occasional hooting of monkeys and things like that. And you also would notice that the eastern side of the island, like the northeastern side, which you can't really see all the way back there, but you can see the sky. And you can see that there seems to be a localized thunderstorm above that corner of the island right now. And yeah, you find yourselves on this beach shore.
All right. So we have two objectives on the agenda. One is the compass, and one is Miss Hardwood.
Okay.
What did we have in the book? What did the book say about the compass?
Let's pull up that entry.
Please.
And I'll read it to you.
I also want to message Harmony, and
Because that's something we can do. with
it
each
is
other
something we
now.
can do. And I got voicemail, so I can't actually. I was gonna ask if Moloch can track people and travel the 9 hells. Maybe he can also talk to Seal. Because now that you told me that Seal's a fiend, that I didn't know before, but I'm keeping it to myself. So.
I can ask him
Yeah.
when he gets back, but I'm working on something else, which we should roll for
Oh, that's right.
to try and make contact with them too.
Let's get the island map off your faces. So I
That'd
was
be
going
nice.
to give both of you who are working on crafting
Oh,
something
okay, sure.
one more shot.
I think
at
you were just gonna
finishing
give
up.
me, like, I think I did all my rolls for the last one. Let me check what I said on my notes. I thought I just
Yeah,
needed
you figured
time.
it out. You just needed time. So
Yeah.
actually, you can finish up,
Okay, so I'll just finish mine and then cross it off,
and then Harmony can make another
and then I'll
roll.
start my next one
Okay.
next time.
I was looking for
So.
a telekinesis card, which I don't know if I have.
Oh yeah, you were using those jewels, weren't you?
I have a thingy. Wait, what's this?
So
is
sword
this?
is
Where did this
done,
come
shield is done.
All right, so I'm making an Arcana check, but
Mhm.
using Charisma.
And I think you had it at advantage because you were using a really expensive. Oh, but it was at disadvantage, and then
Yeah.
advantage canceled out to a normal roll.
Because it's not a spell that I
It was
normally use, but
disadvantage
I'm
because
using
it was a spell you
an
don't know,
expensive-
and it was advantage because you were using something really expensive.
Yes.
So mine is, I have
So
sword
it's
and shield
just a straight-
attachments now,
straight-
so I can bring him in and out.
As a bonus action.
Just a bonus action.
It's a plus
So I'll write that
9,
down.
so I have it up. Thank you.
So
I just wanted to have the
for
card.
reference, that means if you're switching from your sword and shield to your bow, you're not going to be able to place your bow the same turn.
Yeah, because that uses a bonus.
25.
25. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, this is representative of a long time spent working on this on the ship, and it takes quite a bit of time, quite a bit of energy, and a lot of focus, especially since you don't know the spell, but you can definitely feel the spell beginning to take, and it is, you feel like nearly there.
Okay.
You just need a little bit of more time working on it, and you're set. So
Okay.
that's 2 out of 3 successes for this one.
Sweet.
Do you use the spell slot when you do this?
Well, that was
Kind of
I'm
an overtime.
Okay.
doing it like
Gotcha.
every night
Gotcha.
before sleeping, so I don't know.
That makes sense.
If we were in more of like a day-to-day
Yeah.
scale, I might say use a spell slot, but it's not important at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah, now the 4 of you are on the shore of the island, and you have the map, which I've just shown on screen, that exact map, and really no other
Is this where we're at?
directions other than what the book you have said.
Yeah,
which
yeah,
was,
yeah. What does the book say?
There is an island northeast of the Marble Cliffs and west of that loathsome black fog upon which sailors dare not set foot. However, on that island, if you can get past the tribes of bloodthirsty gnolls and other horrible monsters said to roam the depths of its jungles, is said to be a shrine which guards a relic of a bygone age, a compass of sorts, which grants its wielder the ability to illuminate a path to the lands beyond the mists. Of course, those rumors have never been scientifically substantiated. And that's all you have.
Okay, so we need to go into the jungle
Yeah.
and find a shrine.
That's right.
And I'll tell you what you can see on this beach specifically. Like I said, you can see the wall of jungle. You can see that there's 2 rivers that flow out of the jungle along this beach. Sort of on the, you're on like 1 foot of the turtle, and sort of across a gulf on what would be another foot of this turtle-shaped island. You can see that there is some sort of red brick, or it's like a red structure, and out in front of it in the water, Hunter, you would recognize, is a like one of those gateway structures that you would have had outside your village. Those tall Japanese-style, like box-like archways.
Okay. Would I know this place to have like house spirits of any kind, or can I check for that?
Do you have a ranger ability? That would let you do that?
I am, well, I can track them as a ranger. I think they have a favorite enemy, which is spirits.
You could
You have
check
significant experience studying, tracking, hunting, and talking to... So what language did we determine? Do they have a language?
Well, their language would be Keen, which you
Which already
know.
have. Okay,
So
I'll
you
just
could pick a different
one.
language
Yeah, I'll
for
pick a
that.
different one later. Okay.
I think as part of that, you would probably be able to make a check based on what you
So-
already know about them.
Yeah. So it says I get advantage on wisdom survival checks to track them.
Okay, so you could roll a wisdom survival check at advantage
Okay.
just based on what you can see on the beach.
I got a 16.
You would know. You don't see any significant signs yet, based off your 5 or so minutes walking on the beach. But you do know that those archways are often markers of spiritually significant areas.
Yeah.
Whether they're inhabited by spirits or not. Not all are. Some
Okay.
are. But there's usually something spiritually significant about areas marked with these gates.
So I'll just keep my wits about me, I guess, in that regard. Alright. That's fine.
Okay, so I guess, should we just walk the beach?
Would it be easier to take a boat up one of the rivers to get? Are we trying to get to the center?
I think it is a good idea to travel up the rivers, because if someone is trying to stay alive, they want to be near a water source.
That's true. Yeah, you don't think that this author lady would be on the beach somewhere?
No, it's pretty out in the open if she's running to these. She's running
Well,
to
she would have had to be at a beach to deliver the bottle, though, right?
Exactly.
So
But
she
what
would
if
have
she's
visited
just
a beach somewhere.
on the edge of the jungle somewhere, maybe?
possible.
Is there a way that we could like read the tides and kind of like get an idea for
Yeah, whether
which
it's high
beach,
tide or low tide.
well, which beach she might have released the bottle to get to our ship?
Oh yeah, like what direction are the tides flowing?
Yeah.
If anyone
Yeah.
could do that, it might be
Mara.
Mara.
Yeah.
Is
With
there-
your
is there-
sailor knowledge.
I would say that either Mara or Hunter could make that check.
Could-
Or one of you could help the other and give it at advantage.
What's the check? What does it call for?
Well,
Sounds
if
like
Mara's
surf.
making it, I would say that she could use her navigator's tools, I guess.
So I would probably let her
Yeah.
do it then, because
Yeah.
she gets really good rolls with tools she's proficient in.
Yeah, she
Mara,
does.
would you be so kind?
Okay. So I'm using my navigator's tools. So
Yeah.
what would that
What's
be
the
under?
base stat for navigator?
This is going to be a wisdom check with your navigators.
So wisdom plus proficiency,
With your minimum roll
Okay.
being 10.
and you can't roll less
And-
than 10.
And you have advantage. So you
And you
roll
have advantage.
2 dice. 2 d20s.
Because rogue proficiencies.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's
it's
crazy.
a 17.
17.
On the dice or total?
Oh,
Okay. Yeah, you think
If it's
that
wis plus proficiency, then yeah.
looking at the tides look like they've. And you found the bottle maybe an hour ago.
Mhm.
So looking at the tides, it looks like they've just gone out. So the bottle would have been pulled out quickly. So if she released it from the beach, she should still be around.
This area?
However, you are right next to that gulf where the river lets out, and it's possible that the bottle flowed down the river. So that's also an option.
What? Sort of narrows it a little bit.
Well, I could transform myself or one of you into a flying thing that could take a quick gander at the beach to
I'm a
see if
flying
there's
thing.
any. Well, yeah, but you'd use fuel for
I
that,
do use
wouldn't you?
It's either magic or physical fuel.
That's
Whichever
true.
one is, you know.
She's going to be faster than you are, though.
That's true.
Unless we just wanted to go like up and down.
Mara, do you need to have met somebody to spry on them?
I'm sorry, say again.
Do you need to have met somebody to spry on them?
I don't think so, but I think that
It helps if you're
it
familiar with them or
helps.
something. Can I see the map, please?
I've got something written in her hand.
Yeah, I feel like she might.
Yeah,
she might have need to.
So Ethan,
Uh-huh.
The
Is
target
it right
was.
here?
You're kind of on the left foot.
It's like written in her blood, right? Wouldn't that work?
Yeah, it is written in her blood. We think, maybe.
Yeah, let's look at the spell real quick.
I'm looking it up as we speak. Okay. Let's see. Target must be. It doesn't say you have to know the
Yeah.
creature.
Second hand, you have heard of the target.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hey, look at the connection. Save modifier -10 if you have a body part law compared with a nail with a line.
Blood on a
that
piece
blood
of
would
paper.
do it.
Yeah.
So she'd get a total -5 to her save.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me just pull up her stat block. Can't remember if she's good at wisdom saves or not.
She's really bad.
Heartwood. And does it say the spell save DC on the card for that? I think it's a 17.
On the crystal balls card.
Yeah. Get it. We always ask. Okay, what, I can use it, it's, the DC is 17.
17, okay. So she rolled a 16 on the dice, -5, so 11. And then she has a wisdom saving throw bonus of +3, so she fails.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
So Mara, as you set this ritual up on the beach, and the others kind of have to watch around you, because it's going to take a minute,
And I have to hand you the note so you have that as like a focus.
Mhm.
and you focus in on the blood that is on the note and what you know about this person. Your vision is pulled upwards and across the jungle in a blur of color, and you can't quite identify the direction. But by the time your vision is pulled down to ground, you are in what looks to be sort of like a crude, like a bamboo or some sort of like palm tree wood structure, and you are the sensor of the spell sort of focuses in on a halfling woman who is laying down, or more like sitting up in a on not really a bedroll, but like a series of palm branches that have been woven together into a bed of sorts, and is writing on a palm frond with a quill that seems to be dipped in more blood, and you can see that there's a wound cut open in the other palm, and she's just got this sort of like short, curly, bouncy, brown hair, and she's got her tongue kind of sticking out one side of her mouth as she's writing, and then she goes, when she finishes writing it, she goes and she rummages around in a small bag and puts the palm frond into a bottle, seals it up with some wax again, and then goes to the back of this little encampment or structure that she's in and pulls away a palm frond, and you can see that there's a opening where she has dug out from under the structure and into a river that is obviously nearby the structure. And then she places the bottle in the river and like watches it flow out of sight, and then sort of sets about trying to bandage her wound a little bit. And then as she's doing that, you hear spoken language coming from outside. What languages does Mara speak?
I think I speak Common, Dwarvish, and Thieves' Cant.
Okay. So you don't recognize the language that you hear coming from outside the structure, but it's kind of, like a very primitive sounding language. It's got a lot of grunts and guttural sounds to it. And at one point, because you can scry on her for up to, I think, an hour if you want. So if you maintain the scry on her
10
for...
minutes.
Oh, 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, sure. We'll say so. If you maintain the scry on her for the whole of the 10 minutes, sort of towards the end of that 10 minutes, a short-looking green-skinned figure with pointed ears, you've seen one of these before, it's a goblin, comes into the structure and drops off a bowl full of like writhing bugs, and says something in Goblin, you presume, and then closes like a palm frond opening in the structure. And then you see Gloriana begin to sort of like pick at these bugs distastefully as the scrying spell fades away.
Can you direct like where you are relative to your viewpoint in the scry and like
I think
kind
you
of
have to
look
stay
around somewhere
close
else?
to what you're scrying.
But can you like look around and like move through walls and stuff?
This
Nasty
isn't The
level.
Sims.
Well, I know. I don't know though. I'm just asking. Like I don't know.
It just says the
if you're-
sensor moves with the target remaining within 10 feet of it for the
Yeah.
duration.
Okay,
So
so
it
you have to
stays
be
where
like
it is,
okay, I see.
unless the person moves.
But you can't like look around. Like you're not like you can't just like shift your vision around or like I guess technically if you just like orbited around them, right? Mm. Anyways,
So what did you find out?
Is she alive?
What did you find
What
out,
did
Mara?
Say again?
Is she alive?
Okay, so I'll relay everything that I saw, including the goblin.
So she is alive.
Goblins and gnolls, huh? This will be fun.
Is it cutting out?
No, you're good.
We got it.
Okay.
Well, I guess.
Up the river?
Yeah.
The rest of you who were on the beach as Mara was scrying, go ahead and make perception checks as you're just sort of watching out.
so if you make a perception check and your passive perception's higher, does that have anything to do with it, or what is that?
Yeah, you can use your passive perception in that case, I guess.
19.
13.
I got a 17.
17. Okay. So Harmony and Hunter, way down the beach, over by that reddish structure with the Elderhaven Reaches style archway in front of it. You see from a little bit up the beach, there's like the Elderhaven Reaches gate out in the water. Then there's this reddish structure on the very edge of the beach. And then there's sort of like the beach goes up to kind of like a rocky, not quite a cliff face, but like a rocky area. and emerging from that rocky area, you can just make out a faint bit of color of some kind of creature.
Can I look through my scope and get a better viewpoint?
Yeah. When you look through your scope, you can see pretty clearly because you can see up to like a distance of a mile, right?
Something like that, yeah. I can pull the card. If you gave me a card for it, I don't decide if you gave me a card or you just gave me a description.
I think I gave you a card, but I don't remember.
I'll look for it.
In any case, you can see pretty far with the scope, so you can make out that it seems to be humanoid in shape, but you can't make out details. The one thing you can make out is it's like bright orange.
The creature itself is bright orange.
But it's got like humanoid limb configuration.
Is it a spirit?
Not that you can tell. No.
So there's a bright orange figure over there.
And it seems to be moving at this distance. You can't tell which direction.
How is it at the other end? Like kind of on the turtle
It's pretty
scale.
far away.
How far is it from one end to the other?
That's why I was just biting my tongue a little bit because I was thinking maybe you can't see this because it's several miles.
Yeah.
I feel like what we would do is I would like look at it and like since Harmony I noticed I'd like show Harmony and like let her see through the scope too and
Yeah.
we're kind of like both looking at like what is that?
It's
thing?
really only because of the scope I think that you can like make it out at all.
Okay.
Can we like identify it from here at all? Do we have a way to do that now?
Not
This is-
really.
I think he's giving us it.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just checking. I don't have a card.
And it seems to be moving around
I
there,
could-
but it's hard to tell what
I
it's
could
doing.
change myself into like a bird or an eagle or something and go over and take a look, or a hawk, something with good eyes.
From the information we gathered from the scrying, we somewhat have a direction, right?
Yeah, whatever's over there, it's not the shrine. You can't grab that. Otherwise, it wouldn't be buried in the middle of nowhere, and it's not Gregorian, so it's not something we need to concern ourselves with,
Okay.
in my opinion.
Sure. Which task do we want to take on first, though?
It's bright orange. Rakshasa are like they look like tigers, don't they?
Mhm.
So there's that.
You think that they're still
I don't
chasing
know.
us?
I don't know if they have magic. Who knows?
Okay.
Maybe we should get into the jungle and hide.
Well,
instead
I mean, even if we,
of standing out here in the middle.
I
of
don't
the
think we should
beach.
worry about. I mean, we'll keep them in mind, but I don't know if we should like worry about the Rakshasa because they'll just keep coming back, right?
I'm not
Yeah,
worried.
but it's more. Let's not let them find us
Sure. Okay.
if it is them.
Okay.
So as soon as Mara's ready, we'll just go back into the
Yeah, so
jungle. Yeah.
so should we load up the boat and go, guys?
Are we gonna go on foot, or are we gonna take the boat up the river? I think it might be easier to hide if we're on foot.
It might be.
Yeah, we can-
Ooh!
Yeah, but if we make a quick getaway, then the boat would come in handy.
maybe.
What if we all looked like goblins?
No.
Then we wouldn't have to worry about hiding.
Hmm.
We wouldn't have to worry about hiding unless we came across gnolls who see goblins and see prey.
But we're looking for the goblin camp, right? Because that's where Gloriana is.
If we get close to a goblin camp, I'll consider letting you make it look like a
Can
goblin.
anyone
You'll
communicate with them?
consider being okay with my choice.
Can anyone communicate with them?
Goblins?
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
Okay. Because I can like I think so. I have. Is there written language? I just looked at it. But is it like Dwarvish or something? Because I can.
I don't know.
I mean, you don't necessarily know how much of a written record goblins keep.
Yeah, I don't know.
They may have a written language, but they probably don't
Mhm.
write
If
too
gnolls
much
are
out.
the natural enemy of goblins, I could make us look like gnolls.
Not if we want to get inside the camp, right, and rescue this person. I
Unless we run in and get guns blazing.
don't know how many there are, but I mean that's an
I'm
option.
just throwing that out there as an option, you guys.
Sure.
Between the four
I know
of us,
some of us aren't so good at stealthing.
I'm
Don't
not
look at
afraid
me.
of anything on this island. I'm not afraid of anything on this island.
Okay.
It's never helped you before.
Well,
I'm gonna go into the jungle.
if we're taking a vote, I think we should go by foot.
Yeah.
Alright.
Easier to
Okay.
move quietly.
So you're leaving the rowboats here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's too predictable if we do try and get away. There's like, which way do they go? Oh, I wonder. They're in a boat.
Right.
It's on a
Jump
river.
in the
It's
boat.
two directions.
Sure.
Like,
So you get
I
to
could
the
also change one of us into some sort of hound. Because that would be funny as shit. But also because we have the scent of the blood on the paper we could use to track
That
her.
is true.
That is
I'll-
true,
I'll
actually.
volunteer.
Oh, really? I'd probably morph Thaddeus into a hound.
Okay.
I don't resist.
A bloodhound?
Then Thaddeus, I assume he maybe takes a little bit of the shape of Nazria the dog.
Oh yeah.
Was she a bloodhound?
Nah.
I always pictured her
She's
as
like a
like
mutt.
It's
a
Pomeranian.
Shiba
Shiba? Oh my gosh.
Wasn't a Shiba.
That
Oh,
kind
shit,
of
I still have
fuzzy
the island map though.
dog.
I thought she was
Um,
just like a mutt. I thought
Yeah,
I thought
she
you
was
said-
a
yeah,
mutt.
Yeah, I think you
somehow.
said mutt.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like a big dog ish.
And then I'm assuming you're smart enough to
Any
like pull the
excuse, yeah.
note out
I would
before you
take
polymorph.
I
him,
would take
but-
I would take his whole bag from him, just for safekeeping.
I know. It's not the first time you've had your paws all over.
No wild magic.
This.
All right then. So with a scent on that, you can
I'm
and
gonna go ahead and use the Mastiff stat block if that's alright.
yeah, that sounds perfect.
Mastiff.
You can go ahead
They have
and
good
use
sense of
a
smell too. Yeah.
perception check at advantage to try and track that scent into the forest.
I'll like hold the letter over his nose.
Yeah.
Be like,
Alright, 16.
16.
At advantage.
yeah.
As you take a sniff of the paper and sort of put your nose to the ground and begin to track, you don't pick up anything necessarily in this vicinity, but as you sort of follow the various scent trails that you can now perceive in your dog form,
Twilight Princess style.
yeah,
Are you Midna?
you see that glowing
She is
scent
short.
trail.
I'm short enough to
Yeah.
be. Yeah.
Sit on him. Big
Basically,
hand.
what you
Big
come
hand.
to realize is that when Gloriana went into the jungle, if she went into the jungle from this beach, she must have gone into the jungle from further down because there's no scent of her around here.
Oh.
Is there anything interesting that I do smell?
Yeah, on the wind that is blowing towards you, you smell a very almost like acidic smell coming across the beach from the east. And as you sort of turn that direction, you guys can all now see that that orange creature is making its way this way, and you can identify that the smell is sort of
I
coming
thought
from
we
that
had already
creature.
started.
Well,
or into the jungle.
I
I
assume
would've
you were
waited
still kind of
until-
on the
I
end
would've
I mean,
waited
I think we
until-
started to, and then we stopped again, and we started talking.
to get the smell.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I should have made that clear. I was gonna wait to polymorph him until we started
Well, then
actually going into
You
the
wouldn't
jungle.
see it, but that's what the smell is coming from.
Is it a bad smell?
It's acidic, but it's not. It's not like you're a dog. You can't like smell evil.
I know.
It doesn't smell great.
You can't smell
That's true.
evil.
He has a paladog, though.
It's true.
He doesn't get any of your class abilities
No.
when you're polymorph.
I retain my alignment and my personality, but all my stats, including my mental stats, are replaced by the
Romance novel. Romance novel. Romance novel.
Yeah, well, you get to stay like that for an hour.
Yeah, it's
If you
it's
want
not
to,
a
right?
good smell, but it's not
Can he
also.
choose to?
He can't choose to dispel the spell because it's my spell.
Oh, I see.
He could, I guess, choose to resist,
Well, that would have happened right when you cast it, and I didn't do that.
but you don't
So
get
now
like
I don't
more
know. I don't
chances
get
to
more
break out of
saving
it.
throws.
No.
So you're just stuck. This
So
is why I like this
Can we
spell.
still message each other with earrings?
I don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But he
Okay.
has
We
really
can
good
still
hearing
talk
because
to
he's
you.
a dog.
Yeah.
We can still talk to
We
you.
don't really need to message him because we're all together.
I think I understand languages.
Yeah, we had that discussion.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, so we'll just, I guess, continue down the river and hopefully he'll pick up a scent. And
Yeah, that's
I'm
our
just
first
like,
objective.
this is really nice to not have to hear him rambling about agendas for once.
I like.
So
I
as you're
like the
following the river, then
Mhm.
down into the jungle, you're still sniffing for any scent that matches the blood. And after you get away from the beach, that sort of acidic scent of the other creature that was walking along the beach fades, and it's replaced by a whole broad variety of jungle scents. Various creatures and various wildlife that is all new to you. But you start to smell the scent of I mean, Thaddeus would recognize the scent. You smell like boars, like pig, right?
Right, I know that.
And in your dog state, it smells so appetizing. But it's coming from an area in the jungle, maybe a little bit to the west of where you're at, or the east rather.
Okay.
And then with your acute hearing, you can also hear there's like occasionally rumbling sounds over in that direction, but you don't necessarily know what they're from.
I'll whine a couple times and like motion away from the boar and rumbly.
Away from the boar and the rumbly.
Yeah. Just like make.
Do we
motions, I
hear the
guess.
rumbly sounds?
Yeah, you wouldn't roll a perception check because you guys are keeping watch as well.
Yeah. 21. Man, I'm rolling good. This is terrifying.
15.
15.
Perception check?
20.
20. So Mara and Harmony, you would hear these rumbling sounds that happen infrequently and not with any regularity, but just off a little bit to the east.
What does it sound like? Like the earth is rumbling, or like there are creatures making that sound?
Yeah, there could be some large creature making that sound, but it's not like it's something charging through the forest towards you or anything. It sounds like it's
Like a big beast.
like something large moving around.
Like an Allosaurus.
Probably bigger than an Allosaurus.
Okay. Urgh. All right. Yeah. So I guess we don't want to go that way.
Throw the Allosaurus, put at it.
Oh my god. Do you still have that?
No.
Or the egg?
Yeah, we got rid of
The
them. We threw
ostrich-sized
them,
egg.
when Nazriel left, we threw them at the bar that we parted ways at. Remember? Like,
Yeah,
we,
yeah.
had, like, we were like, and the old man's like, no, my shop, my
I
cabbages.
forgot about that.
My cabbage.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, what else is there to do but just to keep going? And not that
You
direction.
don't want to check it out? That's fine.
Poor
We'll roll again.
Ethan's like, roll on the table again.
Yeah, so you go for another couple hours to the jungle, and how long does Polymorph last?
An hour.
Okay. So throughout that hour, you don't pick up any kind of a scent. And by the time that it fades, you feel pretty well acquainted with the various scents of the jungles, but you didn't pick up on any scent of her.
So I couldn't say this, but if she came up the river, she didn't come up this river.
Then why are we still walking up this
Well,
river?
they all combined to the
Because
same.
they all combined.
Yeah, so we should just follow the water at
But,
this point.
I mean, but what if her hut is on the other branch of the river?
Then it might take
Are
us
there
a
any
while.
rats to follow?
Well,
Then it might take us a while to get to her.
well, we know that she's in a settlement of some kind,
That's right.
and so
With
we have.
goblins.
So
She's
we
being fed.
did Mara see any like fire or anything? Like, would we see like smoke coming up from?
Mara didn't notice any fire, no.
Okay, but
She
we can
was
assume if
within
there's
the
like
structure.
if there's smoke, then there's fire, and then there's.
I still like the bird idea. Get ahead, or even climb one of these trees and see if we can see a big clearing where there might be buildings.
I'm
It's not a bad idea.
not opposed to it. If we want to do that, that's fine.
I'm in armor and you're a robot. Which of you would like to do it?
I think Mara's probably more dexterous than I am.
Getting on a tree.
We don't have another spell for flying. You'd have
I
to
mean,
turn me into
I'd
We-
have
we
to
should
use another
limit-
spell,
We should
but
limit the use of our spells. I
Yeah.
think.
It's either that or I can just go up
that's true.
a ways.
That's
I mean,
true.
100 feet is not spending a whole lot.
That's true.
A lot of the trees
and you
here
have a
are
scope.
quite tall.
How tall?
I'm
How
not
far
going to say
are they?
like 100 feet, but
yeah,
some of them
he'd be
get
a
up to
better
like
choice.
75 feet tall.
Have I
So-
seen you fly before?
No.
Can I borrow your scope?
Are you going up on the tree?
Yeah. I mean, if one of us goes up, can we borrow your scope so that you don't have to
That would make
spend your
sense.
fuel?
Yeah, that would make the most sense.
All right.
But I mean, the fuel. I mean, it's not that much. If I just want to get above the tree, above the canopy or whatever, that's a surefire way to do it.
As a player, I have some reservations about this that Thaddeus cannot voice because he's never seen it happen before.
I see.
All right. Is it loud?
Is it loud?
I mean, it's not quiet. Like, you would be hard
We
pressed
didn't
to
see him
stealth while
flying
you're
around
doing
in
it.
the Feywild.
Do we care about being
You did
stealthy
see
at
him
this
flying
point?
around in
We
the
saw
Oh,
him
yeah.
flying around in the Feywild.
I'm concerned about the fire. about being above the trees.
I would just do
with
it above
fire
the
would-
river. Above the river.
To alleviate that concern, most of the trees are pretty drenched in like dew.
Oh, okay.
It's a rainforest, so it's,
All right.
everything is pretty wet and sticky.
Okay.
It's very
then,
hot.
Yeah,
and
go
humid.
ahead.
Want me to do it?
Sure.
So I'll do that. I'll just
Yeah.
lift off. 3, 2, 1.
You get high up above the forest, and from here you can see back the direction that you came a little ways.
What about Constance things?
She probably can't see you from this far.
Oh, did she
Um,
come with us? No, she stayed.
No.
She stayed on the boat. Yeah.
She's like, "Woo."
From
So I'll
here,
get above the trees, and then I'll like look around with my scope.
back the way you came down the river a little bit, you can see that along the river there's an area of like sort of carved out of the forest. It looks like someone has actually felled trees, and you
Okay.
can see what probably the source of the rumbling was. There's two large creatures, maybe like 10, 15 feet tall, that have roughly humanoid limb configuration, like they've got 2 legs and 2 arms.
Okay.
But when one of them sort of like turns around, and you can see that they seem to be shepherding a group of boars. They're like tending to boars and keeping them grazing in this area. You can see that when one of them turns to look at the boars in more of this direction as you're peering with the scope, you can see that they have one big eye in the middle of the
okay.
head.
Would I know what they are?
You could roll a nature check.
I got a 20.
20.
18 on the die.
Yeah, in remote regions of the world, very rare in the Elder Haven reaches, but maybe you would have read about them when you were researching dragons and things.
I mean, C comes right before D, so.
Yeah, right. They're cyclopses. But they only live in very remote
Sure.
regions of the world, and they're very... they can be violent or they can be pacifists. It really depends on the one you encounter.
So I think what Hunter would have done is he would have like taken the map or like the book and like gone up with it and like cataloged a little bit when he's
Okay.
up there.
So then the other things you can see there's a big mountain in the middle of the island, right? Which is on the map. But from here, roll a perception check and we'll see what all you can
Sure.
see.
With or without advantage.
With advantage because of the scope.
Okay, I got a 21.
Nice.
Okay, so several miles off in the center of the island, you can see this big island. And as you sort of like trace the scope along the edge of it, you can see...
There's an island in the center of the island.
Oops.
Big
Shoot,
mountain.
there's a big mountain in the center of the
Yeah, I was
island.
like, where's the island?
What?
My bad.
I knew it was
Okay, I didn't. I was literally taking what you said. I'm like, I'm not seeing it. I'm missing something very important.
As you trace the scope along the base
Yeah.
of the mountain, you can see that there's actually, on the southern face of it, which
Okay.
you're still sort of facing,
Okay.
leading up to what looks like a bare rock face, is a set of carved stairs. And then as you sort of focus in on that bare rock face and try and get a better look at it, you can
Uh-huh.
see that there, you can't make out what they are, but there are carvings carved in like an archway shape over this rock face where the stairs end. But it seems to be like the stairs end at a bare rock face.
Okay.
And then the other thing you can see is as you turn the scope more in the direction you're actually heading, you can see that the jungle clears a little bit ahead of you.
That's like northward, is what you're saying?
Yeah, like northward.
Sure.
It clears a little bit, and you can see that there are these, what look like from the air, piles of stones. There's, how many of them are there?
Is that this?
It's not on the map.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't see it. There look to be like 5 or 6 piles of stones ahead of you in this clearing, but that's about...
Piles of stones. Okay.
You don't see any creatures in that area at the moment, but that's what you see.
Okay. So those are the important things. We got the cyclopses, the staircase, the piles of stones, and then was there any other?
That's it.
That was the things you
main
see,
highlights. Okay. And you said the cyclopses or cyclopes or whatever the plural is they're to the east.
They're to the south now because you've moved past them.
Okay, they're to the south. Okay, got it.
Oh yeah, they were keeping the boards for that snow.
Mhm.
Okay.
So that was probably the thundering that we heard.
Yeah, rumbling.
Okay. So I'll come back down. How much fuel do you want me to use for that? I went like 100 up,
Yeah, and then you stayed up there for a couple rounds.
a couple minutes or rounds, or maybe I would think it'd take a minute or two, right? So, okay, I can. Does it? You want me to
Yeah,
consume?
just however much fuel you would use for like a minute, use that.
Okay, I can do that. That's fine. So I'll come back down and just relay the information, and say, yeah. And then there's like some weird. There's some piles of rocks. I don't know what that's about.
Piles of rocks.
Yeah.
You didn't see any signs of civilization or camping or anything?
No.
Okay.
Although the markings on with that staircase would kind of point at some sort of civilization.
A mountain seems like a good place to put a shrine, if you ask me.
But if we're
Not a
looking
bad
for
idea.
the person, then is that I don't know if they're going to be in the same place.
We could follow the river to the mountain.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I mean, it'll take us right next to it anyway. So
Yeah.
okay, that's fine.
I should pull up the map again so that the viewers can see.
Theater of
the
the
map.
mind.
I guess you could put it in the corner.
I know. I need to resize it so that I can.
Right.
I just can't remember how to do it on the fly, and I don't want to try. Okay.
All right. Well, so if we continue along the river, are we going to run into those?
Yeah, unless you want
Mounds.
to specifically avoid them.
All right.
It's in
I
the
was going to
direction
say
you're
let's go check those out too.
Yeah, I would rather stay along the river because that's where we know she is.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
These piles of stones
Are
are
we
maybe
going to
like
explore any one of those piles of rocks?
We're gonna run up against it, it sounds like.
Yes.
Terrifying.
Yes.
they're maybe like 300 feet off the river, so you'll have to go a little ways out of the way, but not far.
Okay. We can
Okay.
do that.
All right.
Cool.
Let's continue on.
Off we go.
Onward.
Okay. It takes you, because you were quite high up, so you could see pretty far. It takes, especially navigating through the thick jungle, it takes a little while to get to these piles of rocks.
So I have the ranger thing.
That's right.
I was
Ignore
waiting for
terrain. Yeah. Ignore.
Well, you personally ignored the terrain. but I
Well,
think the
difficult
rest
terrain
of
does
us-
not slow your group's travel.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So
I don't know
Hunter
that.
kind of takes the lead a little bit, and with wilderness survival skills you've never seen before, now that he's regained his memories.
That's right.
And yeah, you're not slowed down, actually, so it's not very long before you reach these piles of rocks.
Hooray,
And now that you approach them from the ground, you can see that they're like raised hills of moss and vine covered. They're covered in moss and vines, and then they also seem to have these slabs of rock, like flat rock, arrayed across them, almost in kind of like a turtle shell pattern.
Can I investigate one?
Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Oh, 0.
Oh shit!
It's a 1.
All right.
It's a 1.
1 plus 0, which is a 1.
Well, fortunately, you'll get the base thing, which is that as you come up to one of them and sort of walk around it, you'll notice that the one that you've walked around, at least, you're not necessarily sure about all of them, but the one that you've walked around has a like a tunnel leading down into it, and it looks like it has a shallow room in there. And there was a stone door across the front, but it seems to be broken open.
So this is like a little dwelling or something of some sort?
Okay. All right. Well, I'll go to another mound. I'd
Yeah.
love to see if I can find.
You walk
The
around
door.
it and you find, a path leading down into the ground, and then there was a stone door sort of at the edge of the mound, and it's broken open again.
Are they all broken?
So you take maybe like 15 minutes to walk around each of them, because they're pretty large mounds. All but one of the 6 is broken open, and the 6th one seems to have a sturdy stone door still in place.
All right. I'm gonna stand back and crack my knuckles and use telekinesis and open it.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
I was about to ask, is it like sealed? But I guess it's not now.
Nope. I'm just gonna be like, all right. I've been meaning to try this baby
Yeah.
out.
You can lift like 1,000 pounds with telekinesis,
Yes.
right?
10,000 pounds or something?
1,000 pounds,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
So this door
That's a
was
lot.
sealed with an arcane lock, but
I stood really far back.
thrown off its
So
hinges.
what's the range on that telekinesis?
That's
Was it
fine.
like
60 feet, maybe?
Something like that.
I had it open and then I went to look up scrying.
So awesome, though.
D&D Beyond saving me every time.
60 feet.
60 feet. Okay.
Yeah, so I'll stand pretty far back, and I'll be like, all right, guys, stand back.
Dust
Watch
falls as you rip the doors off and just cascades down in front of the opening, eventually settling. And it just looks like the path leads down into darkness. And just from the angle you're at, you can't quite see, but if you got a little bit down into it, you could probably, with your dark vision, make out the entirety
Yeah,
of what's
if it's safe to approach, if I
Well,
the
Deem
dust
it
eventually does settle.
it looks like
pretty
all the
safe.
others, honestly.
I'll like approach and peer down inside.
Okay. You see that it is a barren stone room in there around which this dirt mound has been built. And in the center of that room, pretty much the only feature, there is a stone box, which seems to have some decoration on the top, but you can't quite make it out unless you actually go in there. And then there's a few jars piled around the stone box, like clay jars.
I'd like to check the box for traps.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Should we go on Mars business?
Well, I'm gonna check. I'm not gonna unlock it.
Okay.
She can unlock it. I just want to look at it,
Alright.
see if it's trapped or not. 15.
15. From what you can tell, there are no traps present on this sarcophagus. But as you get closer, you can
It's a
tell it is a
sarcophagus.
sarcophagus
Yeah.
because carved into the top of it, that design which you couldn't make out before, is the figure of a warrior of some kind. Are you the only one in there? Anyone else go in?
I don't
there?
know. Mara, did you follow me inside?
It's dark in there.
Yeah, I can come with you.
None of the rest of us have dark vision.
I feel like I would also come with because Harmony tends to get in trouble.
Okay.
Do you have dark vision?
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you guys have torches or a lantern or something,
Yeah,
right?
someone could light up a
Right.
lantern or...
Thaddeus will unsheath his sword.
That works too.
So with
We're
the four
probably
of you...
about to get into a fight anyway.
With the four of you standing around this sarcophagus, you can see that there is carved into the top of it the visage of a warrior. And Hunter, you would recognize this warrior is specifically clad in Elderhaven Reaches style armor.
Oh.
So for us as people in the real world, you could picture it as samurai armor.
Okay. And so it's just it's like shown on the top, or is it actually open? And like the person is exposed?
It's
The army.
shut on the top, and like a picture of a samurai
Okay, I
warrior
see.
has been carved
Got it.
on
Hey
the top.
guys, did we just break into a tomb?
It's we.
I see you standing in here with me.
I didn't even break it.
Would I know anything about this ritual since it has?
Roll a religion check.
Okay.
At advantage, I suppose, since it's your country.
So does that make us Tomb Raiders now?
I guess so. I got a
Guess what? It's Lara Croft Island.
17.
Yeah, there's a lot of different rituals in the Elderhaven Reaches that surround death. And you weren't by any means one of the like noble warriors that wore this type of armor.
Sure.
But often servants of powerful spirits or servants of like the imperial families would have, or they would wear armor like this.
Okay.
So this was likely an important warrior to someone at some point.
So
Is there like a name anywhere?
also, well, maybe with my knowledge, would I know that releasing this would be bad in any way? Because I know that we have some curious people in our party.
Unless some spirit has been up to some work, probably you're fine.
Can I look for that
Yeah.
indication?
So you could roll a survival check at advantage.
21.
You look around and you see carved into the stone walls, now that there's light playing across the room, there is ancient Keen script, which is a prayer to the four guardian spirits to keep out powerful evil spirits. So this tomb is probably safe.
Safe to plunder or safe to... I mean, I was all
Safe
wondering.
from evil spirits.
Safe
yeah,
from
pretty
evil
sure.
spirits.
Got it. Okay.
Yep.
Safe to plunder.
Right. All right. Well, I'll just relay.
I'm looking at the. You said there were jars?
Mhm.
I'm gonna look at the jars.
Okay.
while he's doing that.
You like sticking your hand in them?
I'm like picking them up and looking at it. I'm not sticking my hand in a jar without looking at it first.
The jars are...
At least not my hands.
The paint is fading because it's very old, but they're painted with scenes of the ocean. And you can see that under the ocean waves, there are groups of turtles swimming on each of the jars.
That's cool.
Are
they sealed?
No, they're open. And as you pick one or two of them up, you rattle them around a little bit, and you can hear there is stuff in each of these jars.
I'll just open one and look inside.
Yeah.
I'll open it like this.
A bunch of dust.
Right in Thaddeus' face.
Nothing comes out of it. But you hear a little bit of a rattle of something in there.
I'm gonna use Mage Hand to see what I can pull out of there.
Okay. Your mage hand comes up with a scoop full of silver coins.
Ooh, I'm gonna stick that in my bag.
So between all the jars, you find a total.
I'm just trying to do this really sneakily while like Hunter's over there like checking out the.
I feel like
text.
I'm like just like so into like reading what's going on. I don't even
I'm
care.
just, like,
I don't even care.
Shake, shake, shake.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't think you're being very sneaky.
You
You're
know that
blowing
you're doing
dust into
You know that I'm doing it. It's more like I'm like Hunter is distracted.
This is
I'm
perfect.
gonna use my message hearing to say I don't know if this is a good idea to be raiding the tombs of Hunter's countrymen. Can we at least leave some of this here?
Sure. I'll like put the jar back. Empty.
Okay. So what you've looted is 100 silver pieces and 50 gold pieces.
Kind of curious to what's inside this sarcophagus. If I don't perceive it as being, I mean, is it really
It's
bad
not
mannered?
trapped.
Yeah, if it's not trapped, if it's not bad mannered, at least religiously,
There
Then
might
I
be
would
some
open
cool
it.
armor in there.
yeah, I would want to open it.
Sure, just take everything with you. It's not nailed down.
Hey,
As
if
you
we can use it to save their country,
Yeah.
I'm sure they'd prefer that.
slide back the stone lid of this sarcophagus, you do see lying in there, entombed in the stone, is a skeletal figure, clad in in black samurai armor,
It's pretty
and
badass.
they're clutching a box, like a wooden box that seems to be decorated with like various icons of turtles and things like that.
Any words on it that I can figure
Um,
out, or symbols or anything?
yeah, the clasp on it has the characters that spell out Genbu.
Oh, okay.
Hey, what if that's the compass in there? We need that.
That's actually a pretty good point.
Is this a shrine? Is this what shrines look like where you come from?
Ethan, is this for shrines?
It's more of a burial mound.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I mean, the book was written by a scholar that not from someone from the Reaches, right? So, what if they thought
Yeah,
it was a
it's
shrine?
GK Seabreeze.
Yeah. I mean, how are they gonna know? Like, let's just see what's in there.
You clearly only want this to be a shrine so you can open up that box.
I just think we shouldn't left any
So-
stone unturned.
I would feel like, so if the other ones have already been pillaged, and somebody already broke through this one, that if we don't, I don't know, if we
The
don't
other
look
ones
at
have
it,
been broken.
it's gonna get taken by someone.
Yeah.
Might as well just look at this point. We're already too deep into it.
I like the way you think, Hunter.
I want you to know, in case any surprise are happening, I'm literally holding a dice ready for initiative round. That's the state of readiness that Thaddeus is in right now.
Okay, Thaddeus is like, I mean, his sword's already out.
Yeah.
providing
He's, like, ready
light,
to,
so
like-
he's
Is
like,
it worth checking for traps again before we try to
Sure.
dislodge this box?
right, investigation check. Whoever's rolling it.
Okay, I'll do it.
I'll help you.
Okay, I rolled a 1, so that's good. That's much better. 17.
Okay. From what you can tell, there are no traps in play.
All right, stand back. I'll use my mage hand to pull it out.
Sure.
Your mage hand slowly pulls it up as the bones that are holding it kind of crack with age, crack back, and then fall limp. And the box rises up out of the coffin with dust falling off of it.
I'm gonna hand
Okay,
it
so
to
I'll-
Hunter.
Yeah, and I'll take it and then just like,
As you touch the box,
yeah.
you hold the box,
I guess I'm holding the box. Yes. Yes, I'm holding the box.
and then you're holding it.
I'm holding it. I'm holding the box.
Yep. I'm just loving the anticipation.
Anticipation of a trap. We saw what happened
Shaking-
with that necklace in the
shaking
very
while
first
holding the
episode,
box.
man.
hmm
Put it back in the skeleton hands, kills the thing.
No!
Push everyone out. We're done here. Okay, yeah, open the box.
Okay. Yeah, you sort of undo the clasp, which is actually like 2 halves of a turtle shell, which you slide to the
Okay.
side, and then the box will open. And inside, in sort of like a velvet casing that seems a little bit like damaged
Don't
by
say another
age.
box.
There's another box.
No.
Um,
Can't handle it.
There are 4 jade figurines. One
Okay.
of a turtle, one of a bird, one of a tiger, and one of a dragon.
Do I know that those are the 4
You do.
great spirits
Those
that
are
are
the
holding
4 guardian
Orochi at bay?
spirits.
Okay.
Notably, the dragon is not a... It's not the same type of dragon you fought before, and it's not the same type of dragon as Mandus. It has more of like a serpentine body to it. But this would be the typical dragon that you would see in the Elderhaven Reaches,
Okay.
were you to encounter one.
Those are pretty.
I'm also going to ask Harmony, do you still have that magic detection wand? Can we just
Yes.
check real quick?
That's a good idea. I'll cast Detect Magic with my
Okay.
wand.
And then-
The doors behind you that you threw open with telekinesis, you can see that there's abjuration magic lingering on them but fading.
Okay.
Other than that, there seems to be no magic in this
so
area.
nothing on the jewels,
It's
nothing
just-
on the
yeah,
armor.
It's just the... Probably should have done that before we broke open the sarcophagus.
The armor
Mm.
counts as
Mhm.
plate armor.
I forgot
if
I
someone
had
wants to take it.
I have plate armor, but
I mean, we don't really wear... I don't wear armor.
I'm good with my armor. I
Mm,
like my armor.
I'll just take it.
We might be able to sell it.
Yeah, I'll just take it, I guess.
It's this black suit of
I know, it's really
samurai
cool.
armor.
I
Maybe
feel
if you
like
get
I'm
to
gonna
turn
want
back into yourself, you could wear it.
The
That's
helmet
possible.
of it looks to be made of actual turtle shell.
That is
Comes
really
down into a
cool.
point.
Are we going to keep these figurines? Or are you going to leave them here?
Maybe. They might be keys or some sort, I'm not sure.
Harmony's astute eye thinks these figures might be worth around 700 gold pieces, 750
Each?
total. All
Oh,
total.
we're both at the same thing.
That's
yeah,
nice.
I'll just, I guess I'll just pouch it away.
Yeah, right. You can hang on to them. Also, here, and I'm going to give you the money that I found. Why don't you put this in the party funds?
Do that. How much was it?
It's 100 silver and 50 gold.
So that's, can I just convert it to gold? Is that okay? So then it's 60 gold. Right?
Yes.
Is it? Wait,
It's 10
100
silver.
silver is 10 gold?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, 60 gold.
Alright, I'll take care of that. And then I'll put the plate armor down, and I don't know if there's anything else of value, or
This place
Reason?
looks pretty well and truly ransacked.
let's keep going. And
I was really hoping that was the compass. That would have made our travel a lot easier.
nothing's ever easy.
That's true.
I was just loving the trepidation. It's like, where's this trap? Where's Ethan's trap? Guess what? There's no trap.
Trap card!
There isn't even a lock for you to pick, Mara.
I know, I was waiting for that on the bar. With my picks at the ready.
Did you want to check out any of the other
Yeah,
mounds
since I
at all?
still have Detect Magic running, I'll just duck into all the other mounds and see if I see anything magic.
Nothing pops up magical in any of them, but as you walk into each of the other ones, there is like graffiti painted on all of the insides of the other ones over the prayers to
Rude.
the spirits.
Mhm.
And there's like bones scattered everywhere. Like the skeletons that were in the coffins have been taken apart. And you recognize the script of the writing that is all over these walls, but you don't necessarily you can't read it. It's what you encountered before with, I think in Mother Midnight's hut. You encountered some script you recognized but couldn't read. It's abyssal, not infernal.
Right.
Oh, so I'm also gonna put all this stuff, like the sarcophagus lid back up on there and stuff like that, too,
Okay.
before we go.
Hmm. Well, okay. That's distressing. Moving on.
Here we go, down the river.
Okay.
That's everything.
So by the time it gets to be closer to night, let me pull up the map again. You are basically on the edge of this lake shore.
Okay.
And what you can see from the edge of this lake shore is that there is
We're on like the western edge, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There is another structure similar to the one you saw on the beach.
A gate or the
There's a
archway?
gate in front of it. There's one of those gates. But then behind that there is another like brick structure that you can see, and this one is. Let me check.
We'll let you check. Is it box shaped that we have to open? Are we scared?
Have to remember directions here. That's my problem. None of you know off the top of your head which. No, you wouldn't.
Wow, just assume our intelligence there. Okay, fine.
Okay, here it is in my notes. Here it is. Northeast, southwest. So it is a white brick structure.
Never eat shredded.
A white brick structure with a
Oh, okay.
And as you're getting into this area, you're in the section of the island that you saw that had kind of a localized thunderstorm above it.
And you're
Oh,
saying
yeah, the northwest.
this was just around the river bend?
Yeah, this is like across that lake in the island. You can see there's a white brick structure with kind of a spiraling.
Sorry. I couldn't. I'm done. I'll let you finish. I'm so sorry. Okay.
No, that was it. There's like a white brick structure across, and there's out in the middle of the big lake that is here in the middle of the jungle. There is another one of those gate, like it's not. It's like a gate or an archway, but unlike the one on the beach, which was sort of reddish orangish, this one is white, like the stone of the structure itself.
Do you want to take shelter for the night in there?
Sure.
Would I have any reason not to? For spiritual means? Or like.
I'm gonna cast Detect Magic again, because I can.
Okay. What's the range on that? Are you going to try and make your way around the lake over to there?
Well, yeah, I'll wait till we get closer to it and then cast it. I assumed we were right next to it again.
As you get close to it and cast your Detect Magic spell, actually, as you get closer to it, I can describe a little bit more. There's like a crumbling stone wall that surrounds this circular structure, and there looks like there used to be an entranceway into this stone wall, but you could pretty much approach from any direction since it's falling apart. And by the entranceway, there are two statues on pillars or pedestals of tigers carved from the same white stone, and in their eyes are jade stones.
You know, I think we should just
Or
use
emeralds,
the
maybe.
castle thing.
The tower?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
We
I'd
can do
rather
that.
do that instead.
but what if there's something in here?
I mean, we can check and see, but
Let's check it out, and then if it's okay, we can put the tower in here.
well,
I mean, how big is this area, the shrine area?
Maybe like it's like a 60-foot diameter circle, basically.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I have some reservations with taking shelter in a already placed building.
That's what buildings are for.
Yeah, but if Gloriana was captured, then she probably sought
But
refuge
wouldn't that
somewhere.
stand out less than a brand new structure being put somewhere? It's like
Yeah, but
sticking a
if-
flag
if-
saying, "I'm right
If the
here."
goblins are going to be doing rounds and like looking for or people to capture, they're going to go to places they already know, and they might already have.
Yeah, but if they see this strange like tower poking out of the,
They're going to be more reserved about checking it out, and it's more fortified.
I can't believe
disagree.
that the four of us are having an argument about how to hide from goblins.
It's
Well,
not about how to hide. It's how to find a nice, safe place to rest
It's
where
a,
people
yeah,
aren't
it's
going
a
to bug us.
shelter. I would prefer to use the.
Let's just
Tower.
check this place out first.
Sure, that's fine. We can do that.
I mean, you've still got a little bit of daylight.
Yeah, I don't mind checking it out. I'm just saying I don't want to take shelter there.
Okay. I cast Detect Magic.
As you cast Detect Magic,
The
You
range
see that
is 30 feet.
the frame around the doorway of the shrine, there's like a heavy stone door set into it, similar to the burial mounds, but much heavier and thicker. Around the frame of that, there seems to be some sort of enchantment magic.
There's some kind of magic around the frame of the door. It's an enchantment. You can get rid of that, right?
Would you like me to dispel it?
We want to go inside, right?
If you think that's a good idea. Yeah.
It's up to you.
I mean,
Maybe
could this be
daylight.
where the compass is?
It is kind of a no stone unturned thing, right?
Exactly.
Because we might have. Yeah, we probably should just try and make our way in.
I'll dispel it if you say it's alright. Because this is sort of looks like the sort of thing Manus told us about, right? The four beasts. Did Manus tell us about that?
Mandus didn't. Hunter did, I think.
Hunter did. Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, man, this doesn't know it.
And Mandus doesn't know much about the
That's
other.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
If it's sacred or holy, I don't want to go around dispelling it.
Okay, Ethan.
If it's an enchantment,
Do I have
what kind
any knowledge of desecrating this place as a bad thing, or like?
Not necessarily. I mean, you do know that the icons around here match one of the 4 guardian spirits of the Elderhaven Reaches, which is Byakko, the white tiger. And then as you get closer to it, you can actually read over the doorway. There is a little bit of ancient Keen text.
Okay.
And it says,
In Hunter's voice.
why can't I find it in my notes?
That's what it says.
Oh. Enter not this shrine unless you have the bravery to face within the trial of Byakko, the white tiger. Byakko challenges those who enter here to rise victorious over their foes.
That's what it says.
So it's like a dungeon.
Well, it's a trial.
Do we want to be tried?
I'm willing.
You're always willing.
Walks up to the door and opens it.
Okay.
Somebody
Thaddeus, what
get
is
a lot
your
less fun.
strength score?
Strength score is 18.
Okay. The door is too heavy for you to move.
Ooh.
Yeah, you
I-
pull and pull and pull against it, but nothing changes.
Okay, I guess
It
if we're gonna
doesn't
go for it,
budge.
I can give it a shot too.
Okay. So you're helping him out?
Yeah, I have 23, so.
You grab one side of the door, Thaddeus grabs the other side of the door, and together, still like heaving and like straining even for you with your belt, the door pulls to the side, and it reveals a 20-foot diameter circular room that's very dark, and there seem to be situated in it, there on each side of the room, there's a statue of a samurai warrior in a fighting pose, but with no sword. And then in the middle of the floor, there is what looks to be like an iron grate with holes big enough that someone could drop through. And at the far end, there is a white pedestal rising up out of the ground against the far wall, but is conspicuously empty. And then behind that, there is a relief carved into the wall of a great tiger battling with a 8-headed snake. And the tiger's 2 eyes are more emeralds, and the snake's eyes, the 2 eyes on each of the 8 heads, so 16 total, are like black onyx gemstones of some kind.
Okay. And you said there's a pedestal too?
Mm-hmm. Just like under the relief.
Conspicuously empty pedestal. You might have been onto something with keeping those jade figures.
Mm.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's possible.
It looks like a treasure pedestal if I've ever seen one. And I've seen a lot of treasure pedestals.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's been the core for your passing.
Yeah, I know how to make them empty.
Well, shall we approach them?
I'm
Okay.
gonna stay out here. Have
Out here?
fun.
Like, okay.
Like I'll come up to the
All right.
threshold,
so
but I won't cross it.
we will approach the altar or pedestal,
I
whatever
don't
it is.
know. I'm not strong. I'm squishy.
As each of you crosses the threshold. Mara, are you going in?
Let's see. Yeah, they might need me.
Okay. Then I need the 3 of you to make a wisdom saving throw.
You
I
also
have
have
plus
Thaddeus.
4 to this.
Ah, that's not good.
I rolled a net 20.
Okay.
Woo!
Well,
Oh man.
it's a 12.
Thaddeus, actually, you don't have to make this save.
Oh.
I got an 11.
11.
With his plus 4.
Because
Yep.
you're immune
Rolled a
to
6.
frightened, right?
Yes.
Um,
Actually, friendly creatures within 10 feet of me can't be frightened.
okay, none of you have to make this save.
You
I am
Um,
not afraid.
Nat 20.
As
Save it for
you all cross the threshold, you feel this like wave of cold fear rush up you, but then Thaddeus strides forward ahead of you, and you sort of see his back ahead of you, and courage filled from his aura
I'm an
fills you.
incredible leader.
Well, this is a divine ability, right? So it's flowing from your god through you.
Still.
It's okay, we can believe that.
Yeah, you
It's
see,
sort of like, is
you
it
see
from your
Thaddeus's
sword,
back,
or is it just part of your
and
paladin?
divine courage flows through you, and you're able to cross this threshold. No
That's
problem.
hilarious.
Alright.
I'm a great leader. No, you just have a great god. That's what it is.
Okay, so we passed the threshold,
Mhm.
and we're able to approach the pedestal.
Mhm.
Okay, is there anything of note now that we're up close? Or is it just the same scene?
Yeah, you can see that on the pedestal itself, it looks like there's a small, delicate stone hatch worked into it, but there's no obvious way of how to open it.
Well,
Like at the very
I guess
top.
we'll see one of the
Try
figurines.
placing one of the figurines.
Alright, we'll pull out the appropriate Yako figurine
Place
and
it down.
place it down.
And there's a brief moment of silence, which becomes another moment of silence
Don't give me that.
as
Nothing
nothing
happens.
happens.
Nothing happens. Oh, I put it upside down. I'll put it right side down. Sorry.
Yeah, there's another brief moment of silence, followed by 3 brief moments of
Okay,
silence.
okay, that's
Nothing
enough for me. I
happens.
can't. My heart can't handle it.
Mara, would you
So-
check this hatch in here?
No.
So you could roll an investigation check if you wanted to. I don't think she can hear.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
That's
I
for you.
lost. I can't hear very well, Ethan. It's really low. Say it again.
Sorry. I said you can roll an investigation check on this hatch on the top of the pedestal if you want.
Okay.
Are you proficient in investigation?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
I think
I have
investigation is like -2.
It's I got a 4.
4.
I can try to. But
Yeah, you can't find a way that would cause this to open. It looks sealed, like it's sealed pretty tight.
Can I roll too? try?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I did way worse.
Yep, same
but
thing.
I got a 9. So
You can't seem to find any way to obviously make this open.
I want to look around the room see if I can find the swords that are supposed to be in these guys' hands.
As you look around the room that you're in, there's none. But as you look down
yeah, I was
below,
gonna say, yeah.
through that hatch in the floor, you can see that there are 4 identical statues which are holding swords.
Is there a way down there?
Nope. And it's like a 20-foot drop through these bars.
I'm gonna look around
Can you-
outside for a place to set up the
Can
tower.
you recite the words?
There's a pretty decent flat space. That should be no problem.
Can you recite the words on the outside of the?
Yeah. It said, enter not this shrine unless you have the bravery to face within the trial of Gyakko, the white tiger. Gyakko challenges those who enter here to rise victorious over their foes.
Okay.
It's supposed to rise victorious, but there's nothing here to fight.
Can I look for spirits?
Yeah, roll a survival check at advantage.
Natural 20.
Looking around here, there is in the mural right at the back. There
The
are
one with Byakko and
there's
okay.
depictions of obviously the 2 great spirits, but then you can also see smaller spirits, sort of at their feet, warring against each other as well.
Okay.
But there's nothing in here to suggest that this place itself is inhabited by any spirits.
Okay.
You said that the holes in the grating are large enough to pass through.
Mhm.
I want to lower myself down so I don't have to just jump down the entire way, but I want to lower myself down and drop.
Okay. Well, you can reduce your falling damage to 1d6.
Yeah.
So you'll take 5 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And as you land on the floor, it's dark down here except for the light of your sword.
Mhm.
And you sort of look around. The room is pretty much identical, minus the pedestal and the fact that these warriors have swords. And as you land on the ground, these clay statues begin to
Okay.
creak to life, and let's roll initiative. Like no one saw that coming.
That's what I'm here for.
All right, let's do it.
Roll an initiative.
Wow, that's some great
Oh,
We're
rolls.
it's
gonna need a
music.
card for Mara. Should I roll 2, even though I'm not there?
Probably.
Yeah, you're gonna hear combat. So
Yeah.
Well, we can also shout out to you. Did Carmen get in here?
Oh, that was almost good.
Or that's not.
we're doing a thing.
Nah, we're good.
Yeah.
Hey, could you share it? Earring.
Yeah, I guess we could.
Gonna need a card for Mara.
Sorry. I don't know if I have one there.
sorry, I'm getting a card from
I got an 8.
8. Nice.
Hey, that's what I got.
That's about what I got too.
That's what I got.
Oh, do you know you have advantage on initiative?
I rolled a 1 and a 7.
I thought that's only when you're in
Wait, 1 and
natural.
a 7.
Yeah.
Did you get a 9?
I got a 9.
Oh, it's a 9.
I couldn't fully erase the other one.
I thought that's only when he's in natural terrain, though.
Oh.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
That's not what
Yeah,
this says.
I think.
Well, so I'm using.
See, I thought
we
so
agreed-
too, but I looked at the revised Ranger, and it looks like it's just all the
It
time.
did, yeah, and so I mean, I mentioned that to
I
Eden, like,
wasn't
this looks
getting it.
really
well,
strong.
it's under natural natural
Yeah, I might have
explorer.
just been mean to you.
It just says bullet point. You have advantage on initiative rolls.
Yeah, but it says under natural explorer.
Let's see.
So
You
it
are
says
master
while you're-
master of navigating the world. This grants you the following benefits. That's it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. I mentioned that I'm like, this looks really strong. Maybe we shouldn't.
Yeah,
Things
I
like
thought
that.
that was only when we were
Mara, you said
Yeah,
you had an
natural
8?
terrain. Yeah. Yes, 8. Yes,
Okay.
she did. Yeah.
Hopefully, Clay is really slow.
We're actually not too slow. Let's get things in order. Thaddeus is first, though.
I've already got my sword out, so I don't need to.
You walked down there prepared.
I don't need to use a bonus action to take that out. Let's see.
Yeah, so the pit that you're in is basically like a 20-foot by 20-foot square pit with these statues, which are now coming to life, all surrounding you.
I'm gonna go ahead and. What is there one that's nearer to me?
They're all pretty much lined up on the walls at equal distance.
Okay, then I'll just choose the northwest one. Use cast Hunter's Mark on.
Okay.
From bonus action.
I see my mark casted.
Yep.
I'm ready to swing.
And then I'll make 2 attacks against it. I should make one first. I don't know. Good or bad. Okay, the 25 hit. Probably hits.
That'll do it.
That is 15 cold damage plus 3 radiant.
Are the holes large enough to shoot down into?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna leave Thaddeus down there to be his own tank.
I mean, I can go down too.
Then a 27 hit.
Okay, you said it was 18 damage total?
Yeah.
You don't need to split any
No,
of
I
it.
don't need to split. Okay, cool. So the second hit is
I just do so much more when I'm
Yeah.
at range.
Yeah.
14.
So the efficient part of me is like, I should stay up here and just shoot rain held.
But you're like the
Um,
best tank. out of
I'm a
all of us.
pretty
You're
good
not
tank.
going to be able to get your scope, though. There's not enough distance.
Oh, okay.
But you can still use your bow.
Well, I should probably just go ahead and help
sorry.
mitigate though.
It should have been more damage because I was using Hunter's Mark on this guy.
That's right.
Pile another 7 damage on top of that.
9. Okay, so you did 39 damage total in one turn. That's not bad. So, like I said, they've got these katana-like swords, and then they also have. You can see that they have shields that they're holding, and they are going to go next with just Thaddeus there.
Yep.
I have it going.
Yeah.
Don't blame me for
That's
that.
okay. So I think they're all going to. Well, they're
Sure.
fine. They don't.
Thaddeus like, bring it on!
They are a magical trap designed to guard this bottom area. So okay. What is your AC right now?
It's 20. Could be 25. I need to shield that. I probably will.
One of them is going to hit at 20 AC.
I'll use you.
And it will just miss then. And then another warrior comes up to you, misses with all of them at the 25 AC. The other one, third warrior, is going to manage to hit you with one of them, even with 25 AC, and the fourth warrior is going to miss with all three of its attacks.
Dang.
25 AC is no joke. So you only,
Sit up here.
you only get hit by one katana.
Yeah, but you could reduce all
For
the
how much
damage,
damage?
though, right?
It depends on what kind. Oh, they're using swords.
2 ones.
Wow.
So you take 6 piercing damage from the katana.
I would reduce that.
It is.
What do you have to roll? Is that concentration?
Yeah, for
Oh,
sword.
okay, gotcha. Okay.
Okay. That is all of them. They're all just basically surrounded Thaddeus, and he's just got his shield up, battering them away. Mara or Harmony?
What a tank.
Oh, do you want to go first?
You can go first.
I don't even know there's combat happening, so you should probably go first.
Oh,
You
okay.
would, well, at this point, you probably
Alright.
hear that.
I'm just like, what
I'm
are
still above,
Yeah, you're with me.
so I think
I can take you down safely if
I'm
you
gonna
want to
use
go down.
well, I think from up here I'll use my short bow and see if I can shoot one of them.
Okay. You want to shoot the one that Thaddeus has been hitting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see.
Yeah, you get sneak attack on this. If you hit.
Oh, okay. Oh, cool. Okay, so
What am I gonna do?
I roll. What do I
I think I
activate?
am. Yeah.
Your short bow should have a plus to hit. There should be a weapons section on your sheet, and there should be an
Yeah.
entry for the short bow. It should say plus
Okay.
something to hit.
Oh, it says 1d6 plus 4 piercing.
Well,
That's
that,
damage. Before that.
It's at 8.
Plus 8? Yeah, so add
Okay.
8 to your.
Okay. So 24.
okay, that hits easily.
Now you can roll damage. And don't forget your sneak attack damage.
Which is like, what, 66 at this level?
Hmm.
It's crazy.
It's very good.
She's like shooting a fireball every time.
And one,
Mandible.
oh, another.
Mandibles.
Oh, so 7 d6s.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
there you go.
Yeah.
That's like more than pig.
Okay.
Get on the board, get on the board. Points, 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 points.
22. I didn't roll real well. 22 plus 4. So 26 piercing.
Okay.
Cool.
Good job.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go. How's so sneaky?
Yeah, and that single bolt like pierces into its arm and seems to like immobilize its arm for a minute, but then it like creaks and the clay brings that shield back around, and it's still ready to fight. Harmony, at this point, you would hear.
And
But
I would be
they're-
yelling at you.
I probably saw Mara like shoot down at the floor.
Yeah.
What's going on in there, guys?
How many we're gonna need you in here?
Alright, I'll
Give it
run
to your
inside.
Yeah, so you see Thaddeus as you look down into the floor
chef's
where
making
Mara
a
is shooting.
I was
You
wondering
do,
that.
yes.
I was wondering that, but I wasn't gonna say anything.
Wait, you said
I'm a
past
cop.
the threshold. Is that in
I'm
the
an
building
ED
or?
Mhm.
You are. Wisdom save?
Yep.
18.
Okay, you feel that like rush of fear enter your system, but then your adrenaline pushes it back
I'm
down.
like, I'm scarier
As-
than anything in this
Yeah.
room.
I've been trying to tell you for days.
You can cross the threshold just fine.
Alright. And I'll go up to where Mara's at and look down.
You see these 4 clay samurai warriors surrounding Thaddeus, who just has his shield up,
shit.
and you can see like the divine shield as well around him.
And I'll say, need some help down there, buddy?
Never turn it down.
Alright, I will cast Hold Monster on one of them.
Okay. We'll make a, what is it, a wisdom save?
I believe so.
Guess
Yeah.
what they're not great at. Yeah, that's a 12. So,
Yep,
fair.
he fails.
So one of them is held.
Yep. Oh, right, wild magic. That's what I was going to do. Oh, and wild magic triggered. I rolled a 1.
Oh boy!
I
Never
rolled
happens.
a 1. It's like the
does now.
second time that I rolled a 1 on a wild
Yeah,
magic.
it's been a long
Yeah.
time.
It only ever happens on the Tides of Chaos.
I think the last
No,
time
but
this
I
happened.
have triggered it like that before.
I think the last time this happened was with Mother Midnight, like when we were running through
a long time
Yeah.
ago.
the forest and the vines were kind of creeping out.
Yeah.
I think you rolled it one time, and then you made like that shroud of like
Oh yeah.
smoke. I think that was like the only other time.
Yeah, that might have been. I don't remember. All right, we're gonna use
Like everyone keeps getting missing. We can't hit anything. There's
my
just
new
smoke.
ones. Alright. 60 forward.
Please be shrinking.
Oh my gosh.
Ah! You were frightened by the nearest creature until the end of your next turn.
Which would be Mara.
Yep. So you turn to Mara to like gloat at your spell, and her face has like twisted and deformed into like a demonic face as you look at her.
Run away.
So that just means you can't approach her, right? And you can't make.
Do I
attacks
have
against
to like
her
if
at
I'm
advantage?
frightened, do I have to move my movement?
No, I
away
think-
from
I
the
think
It just means you
user?
can't go
You
close.
can't go closer to her.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can't. And
You have
any attack on her
But I
disadvantage
have
on
is
things when you can
disadvantage.
see her.
on
Yeah.
her, right? Oh
no, on
it's-
anything.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. But luckily, like I have already cast my spell.
Okay.
Just like look. So I look at you and I'm just like, ah!
Yeah.
What's wrong with your face?
Hunter,
Okay,
I
so
accidentally skipped you.
That's okay. So I played the scene in my head. I'm thinking what Hunter would do. So he like would instinctively like reach for his bow and be like, "No, not this time." And then he would like jump. He would jump down and like put his like turn his whatever it is jetpack on thing.
Oh, jetpack on. Okay.
And then he would just like and like whip out like a sword and shield and like just start
yeah,
slashing.
and they
Badass.
fold out of the arms
Yeah.
for the
That's so
first time.
bad.
And then he would just like make his swings. Yeah,
Oh man,
I know.
starting to really look like a RoboCop.
Oh man. Like,
This was the dream when we started.
Gundam.
this is what we wanted. Yeah. So I'm like I'm gonna use these new inventions.
I was hoping you'd join me.
Here I am. So I'm gonna make some swings. So
Yeah, we're gonna stay up here if that's okay.
So I got a 24 to hit.
If you attack the one that Harmony has held in place, you can have advantage because it's incapacitated.
And I know I didn't. Well, I wouldn't have known. Maybe, but
that
I
the
wanted to
same
hold
one?
one that wasn't.
Yeah, that's fine. So we'll say
Injured.
the.
So if he's
we'll
held,
say-
can he still attack, or is he just like?
No, he's
So
paralyzed.
I'm just gonna leave him alone.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then I'm gonna. Do you want me to help you with the one that you're already attacking?
Do whatever you do. What you feel.
Okay, so I'm gonna attack that
I
one,
should have done it at
Okay.
6th level.
and I got a 24 to
You do
hit.
it once.
Is that
Oh,
it?
22?
24?
24 does hit, yes.
Okay, and I'm gonna make this a trip attack for the first one. So he has to make a DC 18 strength saving throw.
Guess what? Doesn't make it.
Okay, so he's
So
he's
this
prone.
one falls. So it's the same one Thaddeus was attacking?
Yes.
Now I got attention to it.
And well, that one I'm gonna attack it a little bit more.
Are they
I think.
made of
So-
stone?
They're made of clay.
So
Like
this
hardened
is.
clay.
Did he seem resistant
So
to Mara's arrows?
Nope.
No. Okay. So I'm just gonna poke him with the sword of wounding, I guess.
Like if it's
I got a. Let's see, that's 6 plus
all that
12 magic piercing plus a wound.
Okay.
And then I will attack him again. He's on the ground, so I get advantage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You do indeed.
Alright, so that hits. It's a 25. And then I will just give him the old
creature made
smack.
of inorganic materials such as stone, crystal, or
Actually,
Take play.
I would say that yes, clay counts for that.
can I attack one of the other ones instead?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna make this a disarming strike.
But you wouldn't have had advantage then, so what was the first roll?
It's the lowest one. I rolled 13 or 15, and it's plus 10, so it's a 23 or 25.
Okay, so either one hits.
Okay, sorry.
No worries.
Okay, so I'm gonna. Now he has to make a. This one has to make a strength saving throw, DC 18 again.
This was a disarm attack.
Yes.
At the moment, it can't be disarmed. So you go and you
okay.
try and flourish your blade and try and pull the blade out of its hand,
Yeah.
but it seems to be magically held in place.
Okay, that's fine.
But you'll do the extra damage for the
Sure.
attack.
Okay. So that's 18 damage on the next one, and then I'm gonna attack the one on the ground since I noticed I can't disarm these guys.
Okay.
And like take their weapons away or something. So this one got a 24 to hit,
Hits.
and I will just do flat damage, I think. don't think anyone needs to do anything. Yeah, okay. That one is... That's not very good.
I just love this music.
Good.
I do too. That's 8.
8, okay.
8 damage. Yep.
That one is starting to crumble quite a bit, but it's still holding together for now.
Knock 2 of these off.
Thaddeus.
Okay. I'm going to strike once and one on the ground.
Okay.
428.
That'll do it for sure.
Good damage. So that's 23 damage.
Okay. So that one, since you've got it right on the ground, you plunge the sword in, and the cold kind of freezes out over its clay surface, and then it shatters.
What is the sword shattered too?
The sword, no, kind of like rolls out of its hand.
Good, good. Okay. And then for my second one, I'm going to attack the one that is being held in place.
Okay.
For 27 hit.
Hits. You guys.
Yeah. We're OP.
They're making no use of their shields.
So this is a 14 damage.
Well, I didn't roll below a 13 either, so that's
Oh.
helpful.
Nope, sorry. I'm going to roll a little bit more for Hunter's Mark because I'm going to use my bonus action to transfer that over. So 4 more damage to that second one.
18 total. Do they get a save at the end of their turn for the hold person? I know they're held for their turn, but I'm not sure when they get their save.
At the end of each of its turns, the target can make another saving
So
throw.
one of them is useless for now. The other two, one of them is going to be attacking Thaddeus, and the other one is going to be attacking Hunter. We'll roll this one separately. Hunter, the first one is 17 against you. You've got your shield, so that misses. It tried to like bash you with its shield, but you get your shield up in time.
We're
and
having a
just
shield dash
block
off.
it.
Okay.
It's going to try again for another shield bash. That's a natural 20.
I've been bashed, guys.
So let's see. It's 2.
Is the bash special in some way, or
It is.
Okay.
Just give me a second while I do damage.
because I can use my reaction if I need to.
So that's 14 bludgeoning damage as he hits you with his shield,
of course.
and then you need to make a strength
away.
saving throw or fall prone.
Okay. I am going to also. I'm going to use riposte with
Okay.
my reaction and strike him after he misses the first one, but I will make a saving throw for the second. So I rolled a 19 on die.
Okay, you're fine.
Okay.
You managed to
I am not falling.
wobble a little bit, but then get your footing again.
Okay, so I'm going to make an attack roll against this guy. You hit, add the superior die. Okay. So I got a 21 to hit,
That does hit.
and then I will add this. And that is 13 magic damage. Or just brawl on.
And he's actually wounded. So if you want to roll your
I thought I wounded one on the ground. Unless this is a new turn.
no,
so,
you're right. You're right. You did wound the one on the ground, and he's dead. So
Yeah, he's dead.
then he'll make his third and final attack against you, just a katana attack, which is 18 to hit.
Yes.
Okay. So then the one on Thaddeus is going to make a shield dash. That's 20.
Yeah, all shield.
Cast shield again, so it misses. Go again for another shield dash. That's worse, and then he'll go for a katana, which is not good either. So you're just holding them completely at bay.
And then the saving throw for that last one. Did you already
Right.
do that?
Ooh, that's really good. It's wisdom, so it's 19.
That'll do it.
Okay. Yeah, my spell save's 17. I was wondering if I should try to.
These guys, well, I think we got it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry.
I'll let it go.
Okay, so he can move again, and then it is Fly by Hunter, because I've moved you to the correct place in the initiative now.
Okay. Flying
Fly
by
by
the hunter. Alright. I will, with the one that bashed me, I will attack him.
Correct. place in
Oh,
the
shoot.
initiative.
That's only a.
I accidentally put him after you and Mara.
I rolled
Oh,
a
instead
15.
of before.
15 to hit.
It catches it on its shield.
Okay, alright. Very good.
Ooh, Hunter missed.
Yeah, I did. I I'm not doing very well. I got a 17 this time.
That is just its AC, but it uses its reaction to pull up its katana and just block your sword out of the way.
What?
It adds to its AC with its parry.
Could make it a... No. Okay, let's try one more. Okay, this one definitely hits. This is a 29.
That hits. Yep.
Alright, I'm gonna trip this one too. So, mark that off.
It fails its save.
Okay, so he's prone.
I think it does. It gets a 16.
That fails. And I got a 13 magic damage and a wound. And he is knocked prone. And that is what I do. I don't think I have anything else I can do with my other bonus action this time.
Okay, then it is Mara's turn.
Okay, I'm gonna do the short bow again because that does the most damage.
Okay, there's one that is prone, so you'd have trouble hitting him, but you can hit one of the other ones easy enough.
Okay, 26.
That easily hits him. Yep.
That's really good. Yeah.
Don't forget your sneak attacks.
Sneak attack.
Yep, here it comes.
Here it comes.
They're all 4 3s.
That's not bad.
Okay, so 10, 19, 30.
Woo!
There you go.
Pretty good.
That's really good.
Yeah, that's good.
4 threes.
Dang. Yeah, so Mara's expert marksman just goes straight through the eye of one of these things.
Nice.
And it just kind of looks up at the ceiling, but it's engaged with Thaddeus and Hunter, so it can't do anything. Harmony.
All right. How many? Are there still 3 left?
Yep. 2 of them are looking pretty damaged.
And one's on the ground.
Yeah. Okay. Can I? I don't know if I can get all 3 of them without hitting these guys, but it's a 10-foot radius. Can I position a 10-foot radius spell somewhere where it hits them and not not these guys?
You could hit probably... I don't think you could get 2 of them. You could get 1 of them without hitting those guys. If you put it on them, you could get all of them. But you're going to hit your friends.
Right.
Yeah. Acquaintances.
I can see like the wheels turning in Harmony's mind. Like, how many could I get if I just hit Thaddeus?
That's exactly what I was gonna ask next.
And we're surrounding
you.
him.
I know. If I just hit Thaddeus,
2 of the 3, I think.
I'll do that.
Okay.
What he's using on him?
But I'll shout, Thaddy, cover your ears! And I'll cast Shatter.
I was trying to think if I give Thaddeus advantage, and then I was like, but then I have to always give him advantage if he can cover his ears, so no. Yep, so it's a
It's more of a, I don't know if this is gonna help, but...
Constitution saving throw?
Yeah.
And they make it disadvantage.
Oh, okay, well that guy rolled a 1.
Yeah, they're inorganic materials, so they have disadvantage.
And that guy rolled a 4. So, yep, both of them are taking full damage.
So it's fine.
Oh, no.
Sorry, Thaddy. Well,
Don't even
I'm a little bit sorry.
And it's your amulet, so you still need to check for wild magic, right?
Yes, one thing at a time. 1 charge for Shatter, and I roll for Wild Magic normally, which does not trigger, so now I just have to roll for damage, which is 3d8. And it's thunder damage. So, it could have been better. Yeah, that's only 9. 9 thunder
9 damage?
Yeah,
Okay.
I rolled a 1 and a 2. And a 6.
Let's say you got the one that Mara just targeted, and the one that hasn't been damaged yet. Okay. Thaddeus, your ears ringing, deafened. It's your turn.
Oh, is he completely deafened?
Oh wait, I took 9. Let's see.
9.
Still a message, I think, right?
Okay, I'm still good as far as my mark goes.
Okay.
Is the one on the ground still alive?
Yes.
Okay, or at least still kicking. Alright, I'm gonna go for that one. 24 to hit.
That definitely hits.
So, pretty good. 21 damage.
Dang. Okay.
Is he gone?
Nope, he's still
Alright,
alive.
one more hit then. Oh wait, hang on. Before I do that, I keep forgetting to do Hunter's Mark.
That was
That was
nice.
totally
That was really
Yeah,
good.
I saw it. That was
Yeah,
like the
pick
most
whatever your favorite
popular
number is.
scene.
Two more.
Okay.
Ooh, crit.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gonna pump that smite in there.
I don't think so. I think the one I'm fighting now is too far gone to be worthless might.
All right.
I love seeing the smite damage though. I love hearing the dice. Yeah, that's great.
Also,
Yeah. Oh.
smite is a resource I'm not willing to spend right now.
Sure. Alright.
Yeah, there rolls. 18.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, plus 26.
26.
Yeah, 26 all told.
Oof. Yeah, he is barely holding on.
Oh!
Just barely. So then it's the Guardian's turn, and the one that you were pumping all that damage into stands up.
Mm-hmm.
Does he take his damage?
He does, actually, so he's gonna die. I think, unless you roll a 1.
Oh, come on! Oh, what is it? I don't even know. Oh no, where did it go?
What is happening over there?
I don't know, I'm dropping everything, I'm so excited. Let's see. 2.
2. That's just what you needed.
Oh, I got him.
He
As
stands up.
He
and then
stands up.
crumbles.
Yeah, like there's he's falling apart altogether, but there's like the piercing wound in his chest where Hunter stabbed him, and you can see that like that's the focal point of a collapse that just occurs as he just like as he stands up, crumbles back to
Wow.
dust,
Nice.
and the katana clatters across the floor.
Okay.
Leaving 2 of them. So yeah, we'll go for shield bash on Hunter.
Please don't.
Natural 1. We'll go for a shield bash on Hunter. That is 23.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay, so you're gonna
Oh, my bludgeoning.
take some bludgeoning damage,
Oh.
and I need a strength save.
Okay.
That's 6 bludgeoning damage.
I
Or
want
sorry,
to...
10 bludgeoning damage.
Okay, I'm gonna repost him again for hitting me like a jerk. 10 bludgeoning.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so that I'm down to. Okay.
Oh no.
Cool.
You still have over 100 HP, don't you?
No, I'm below 100.
Okay.
He's at 99.
Right there. No, I rolled not good. I rolled a 14 on my hit. So.
So yeah, he catches that on the shield as you try and riposte. Did
Okay.
you make your strength save?
Oh, I did not. But I will. I rolled a 25.
Yeah, you're fine.
That was with your +4. So.
And then the last one he'll go for attack, which is a 2. So no. Then Thaddeus, shield bash, 21,
Yeah. He's a third thing.
third shield. Another shield bash, nope. And this one is a katana, but I think it's still a hit. It's 18 plus 7, so 25, which is your AC.
That's my AC.
Look, he hit ya.
25 AC.
So that is much better damage than last time. That's 15 piercing damage this time around.
How much?
15.
Okay. Oh, well, I'm pretty good on.
On the Hunter's Mark, you can't remember to use.
Yeah.
Then it is Hunter's turn.
Okay. I will.
There's still 2 of these things left.
Yep. I'll attack the one that was attacking me. That's a 15.
15 is not going to hit it.
That's a 13.
Wow.
Wow.
It's 2 misses in a row.
And I rolled a 1. So I rolled a 5, 3, and a 1.
Yeah, so
I just.
this one kind of isolates you from Thaddeus a little bit, and it's just like you're
It's
poking
matching
at
my
it with the
steps.
rapier. And
You're
it's
like,
catching
I
your
wanted to use
heel.
my bow.
I wish I could so bash you. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, that was a rough turn for
That is
Hunter.
Oh,
not good.
man.
Yeah, I'm
You
not.
could action surge if you want.
I don't want to.
Don't want to. Okay,
No.
Mara, you're
I'll
up.
let him have this one.
There's one fighting Thaddeus and one fighting Hunter. The one fighting Thaddeus looks more damaged. The one fighting Hunter is giving him the ropes.
Yeah, it is.
Which one are you going to attack?
Which one should I attack?
The one fighting Thaddeus is more damaged. The one fighting Hunter.
So let's do that one.
That's
Okay.
Okay.
fine. I don't need help. I'm fine.
We're both fine.
Yeah, we're fine.
Alright.
Yeah, you're both fine.
Yeah, we're okay.
25.
That'll hit
That
for
hits.
sure. Yep.
Dang. Wish I could roll that well.
Yeah, shit.
Oh, I got a bunch of sixes. Alright, so that's 10, 20,
40 damage.
34!
Woo!
Woo!
I think that's a record for Mara.
Yeah.
Good.
Shit.
Yeah, that one, the arrow pierces into like its heart section, and you can see it starts crumbling around there. It's just falling apart.
Wow.
But it's not dead yet.
Shit.
Harmony.
Alright. Where are they positioned?
They kind of have both of them cordoned off from each other.
Alright.
Right.
So I will I'll look over at Thaddy and be like, and I'll cast Firebolt at the one that Hunter's fighting.
Okay. That's the less damaged one.
Yes. Firebolt! Which means I have to roll, which I hate doing.
Not using this dice anymore.
Well, I don't get advantage either, which sucks.
I understand.
Hey, but that's not bad. That's a 23.
That'll do it.
Yay, and I get to roll 3d10.
That's right. Firebolt is leveling up.
Yeah! I don't think I've used it
3d10,
since hitting
that's pretty
11.
good, Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot.
I thought I rolled 3 ones for a second. And
Oh,
that was,
wow.
No.
No.
But it's 12?
12
I think.
damage? Okay.
Yes.
No.
8
Yeah,
plus,
yeah,
it's
right.
12. Second guessing my math skills. It's very smart of you.
That's very smart.
Thaddeus, you're up.
Okay.
Unless Harmony has anything else.
Oh, yeah, that was only 12 though. Nah, I'm just gonna sit here.
Okay.
I'm like gonna
Yeah.
sit with my feet dangling down into the pit, just like, yeah, this is boring.
Alright, I'm gonna attack the one that's next to me.
Okay. This one looks like it's falling apart.
It's a 29 to hit.
That'll do it. And I don't think you cannot kill it, but let's find out anyways.
Oh, yeah. I don't know which one of these was. I'm gonna roll again because I don't want to choose between an 8 and a 1. I don't want to be like, oh,
I
I
think it
rolled
was
an
the
8.
8, to be honest.
I think it was
I think
too.
it was too. So that's 15 damage.
Yep, he's dead.
Yay. So I'll
Yay.
run over to the one on Hunter. Now we're attacking this one.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So 28 to hit.
firebolt.
Do it.
I know, it's great. I was going to action surge this one, attack 6 times. Just because I'm upset at it.
26.
That is
All 6
significant.
miss. It's
Just
great.
all noodle armed on it. Okay.
I'm going to do the Guardian's last turn, and then I'm going to say that pretty much you guys
Yeah.
destroy it at
Okay.
this point. But I'm going to give it one more round of attacks, just because
Sure.
it is its turn now. So, Thaddeus, it will shield bash you. For 21.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, I'm not going to waste it. I think.
Okay. So it does 8 bludgeoning damage, and I need a strength saving throw.
Okay. So it's a 24.
Okay, so Thaddeus is fine. We'll do a katana attack and miss, and the last katana attack and miss. And then it's the last one standing. So that is all of its turn. And then after that, the two of you and Mara
haven't hit it.
and Harmony up top
Yeah.
can
hit it.
easily destroy this thing as its sword clatters to the floor as well,
Alright,
leaving the quiet of the jungle as the only thing that you can hear.
so I guess we will all collect the swords up.
I'll take a little running start and jump up.
Mario sound.
Do
Are
that.
you gonna use your
Yeah.
jabbers?
Yep. I'll fly myself up there too and squeeze through, and then we'll divvy out the swords.
While we're waiting for them to while they are figuring their shit out, I'm gonna go up to the tapestry of all of the gemstones on it, and I'm gonna try to pick one of the onyxes off.
Sure, make a strength check.
A strength check.
Strength check.
I want to use my dagger to
All right, for some leverage, I guess you could take advantage on your strength check.
just strength. Okay. 18.
Pretty good.
18.
They were both pretty good.
Yeah, you pry. How many are you trying to pry out?
as many as I can take before they actually start paying attention to what I'm doing.
So probably only like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
You want to start with the emeralds or
No, I'm gonna leave the emeralds alone. I'm
the
just taking
orochi
little
ones?
onyxes off.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you can get like 3 of those.
Yeah.
No, I'll tell Hunter
We'll
one
say,
swords.
so I don't
okay.
have to make a decision later, they're worth 25 gold pieces each.
Okay.
And
I'm
I'll
not
take-
going to be happy about that. I don't
And I'll
think.
take the other one and go and place it in.
I took them
And
off of the
statue.
evil one.
Okay.
I
So
love
you're
Gecko.
It's a
placing
mural.
all 4 swords in the hands of the statues?
Yeah.
As you do that, you hear a rumbling from next to the pedestal, and the hinges open up, and rising up from the pedestal is another piece of marble stone, but sitting on top of that is a gemstone of unique shape. It's shaped like an oval with the center part carved out, and it is like a pure white diamond.
Ooh.
How big is it roughly?
That fits in the palm of your hand.
Oh, okay. That's a
Give me
little...
just a second. I forgot to do something. I will give it something to you off screen once I've had a chance to mess with it. But yeah, I think that's where we're going to end for tonight.
Okay.
As this thing rises up out of the altar.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Sweet.
So yeah, good job. And sort of night is descending on the jungle, your first night here. So
Yeah, I agree with you, Hunter. I don't think we should sleep in here.
Okay.
that's where we'll pick up next time. So if anyone is watching, I hope you enjoyed. And this video will be up in VOD form immediately after this. It will be on YouTube on Wednesday. All of our backlog of videos is on YouTube, so you can check those out there. There's a lot. So you've got lots to catch up on if you enjoyed. We hope to see you back. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.